The only thing gapping up was NOK. And I just wasn't a fan of this. When I see a stock like this, when it's back and forth like that, look at, there's a better example of it. I call this a barcode stock. I don't want to be trading a stock that's a barcode like this. What this is pretty much algos trading back and forth, just hundredths of a tenth of a penny is what these algos are trading. And they're just profiting just back and forth, hundredths of a tenth of a penny. And I don't want to be playing something like that. And this was really the only thing gapping up on the gap scanner. If I look at the daily's not even really tempting either. One second, let me bring it up. But let me bring over the daily here on NOK. Look at this daily. Nothing looks tempting at all on this daily. From $6, this gapped and trended down all the way to 470. It's finally having a gap up. That's just a gap and go strategy for some, but NOK, it's not volatile enough for me. And like I said, when I see a barcode stock, I'm not trying to play barcode stocks. And then we had, I knew it was going to be a scanner day because we have nothing gapping up. Traders want to trade, and ELTK pops up on the scanners. Look at it, just blows through all these moving averages here. Blows through the 100-day, keeps running up to the 200-day, and now it's running up to the 300-day. Let's look at the intraday on this. So ELTK starts getting some momentum here the previous day. This is a classic pump and dump. Straight up. Look at the signs are right there in front of you. And you can learn this stuff from Tim Sykes too. You see here, the previous days, this thing wasn't doing nothing. Look at that. There's no volume on this, all right here. It's just going sideways the whole day. But then towards the end of the day, you start getting some volume. Look at that. From $1.30, some volume starts coming in, and this goes up to almost $2. Pretty interesting, huh? It's a low float stock. Let's look at the float. I'm about to break this down for you guys, and you guys are about to be blown away. In the stock market, you gotta be an investigator and look at what's happening. And this is how people profit. We got ELTK here. The float is under a million. 0.8 million float. Okay? Let me exit out of that. I get a newsletter from Chatroom Pump and Dumps. This one is from Deckmar Trades. Deckmar Trades puts his newsletters out. Chart setup. These are the top stocks he's looking at. GENE, CLRB, and money sign ETLK. 1 million in float stock, looking to break its 50-day MA today. Keep this one on the back burner in case it starts getting hot. With a break of resistance line less than 1 million in float, we could easily see a spike. We got a chat room pump right here, putting a newsletter out with a low float stock, ETLK. It gets volume the day before it starts to break out, and then look what happens today. As soon as the market opens, he's telling his chat room, all right guys, we're watching this, and it just starts creeping up to $2 right here, and then boom, look at that. From 2, this explodes up to 225 and gets halted. Opens back up at 270. Where did this open up at? I want to say opened up at 270s, but then it runs all the way up to $3. And then one more for you guys. Go over to Deckmar Trades' Twitter. Scroll down. ELTK, this was discussed in our pre-market talk as low float mover that could spike at the $2 break. Preparation is key. Ow! And then he's got a picture here of everybody in his chat posting their profits. This is a chat room pump and dump, people. And this is the importance of following these trading gurus to get a sight of what's going to happen in the future. And I think Deckmar bought the day before and then announced it today and had all of his sheep follow. You can clearly see it in the chart. The day before, look at all that buying right there, that volume that's coming in. Right at the end of the day, $2 resistance right here. He's buying it just below 2, telling all his sheep, and then boom, explodes up in price, and everything he bought right in here, he's unloading all up in here. Breaking it down like that. And if you do that, you'll see this stuff happen over and over and over and over again. There are so many chat room pump and dumps out there, it's crazy. And that's why I like to look for low float stocks, and I follow all these trading gurus because it's just easy money. You can see what they're doing. You know, this is why, again, too, it's important to look at the top percentage gainers every single day at the end of the day to prepare for the next day. ELTK, you've seen this on the top percentage gainer going from $1.30 to $1.80. You'd see it's a low float, and then you just add it to your list. The next day you see that your chat room guru has it on his watch list. You look at the chart, you look at the previous day, you see, all right, he's accumulating right here. And he's promoting it to his chat room, and when it surges, he's going to dump it. But then also nothing else is going on in the market, and this was in great play for a moment. This runs all the way up to $3 right there. Runs all the way up to 3, gets a great pullback down to this mental 250 area. Great bounce right off that 250 and grinds all the way back up to that resistance. Beautiful play right there. That would have been an A+ play, but I didn't trade ELTK. But going forward the rest of the day, look for a possible squeeze on ELTK. Nothing else is really going on in small cap land. It's a super low float stock. ELTK already has 5.8 million in volume. The float's been rotated 6 times. So this could be a potential big squeeze coming up. And if you look at the daily, you could see this thing loves to pop. You got a big pop right there, right there, right there, right there. Even the last time it popped, it blew through all of its moving averages, running right up to the 200-day. This daily's ugly looking. This is just a pump and dump stock. But look for a good squeeze possibly over 3. That's when things could really, really take off. If people come into this and want to start shorting it and it's up for no reason, there's no news on it. You can see right here, last time it came out with news was back in April 18th. Is when it came out with news. It came out with a 6K. So shorts are thinking it's up for no reason. It's a pump and dump. There's no news. I'm going to short it. And when you got a nano float like this, and you could just see some crazy, crazy stuff happen. But all right, let's go into what I traded today. PDSB. I traded this. Today, you could see this was the hot chick yesterday. PDSB was the #1 stock. And you could see how fast volume moves on in small cap land. Yesterday, this was the hot stock. Today, it only has 400,000 in volume. That just goes to show you how fast volume moves on in small caps. But I thought PDSB was setting up nicely. This chart may not look appetizing to you, but there is a strategy behind it. Now hear me out. Going back to yesterday, seeing what it did here, yesterday, right out of the gates, spikes from $6.70 all the way up to a high of $9. It put in a day low right here at 750s. And then it ramps all the way back up to $9. Look at that. But this was a great day on the stock. And then just looking at the previous day's low, 750, we fast forward over to today. Stock opens up at $8.30. Then it sells all the way down to 760s, 765, 760, okay? Here's the VWAP. It starts making lower highs, forming a wedge right there, all the way at this 260 level. And then if I zoom out on this chart, plot out the previous day's low. It's holding the previous day's low. It's not breaking it. Then this set up really nice. I only made a small $84 on it, but hey, profit is profit. Those small gains add up. And I was talking about it in chat. I said this is setting up nicely. It's holding at the day low right here, or the previous day's low, and it's starting to move up to the VWAP, and the VWAP's also at a mental area of $8. So if this can surge over the VWAP and break through 8, look for this to get a surge up to 825, at least 850. This gets over the VWAP, surges up to 8, pulls right back to the VWAP. This is when I'm like, all right, this is where I'm going to take a shot at it. If it breaks below VWAP, I'm cutting my losses. But if this can bounce off of VWAP, this can surge over 8 and run up to 825. This bounced right off VWAP here on this pullback, got in, and it surges up to 820. Sold it for a quick profit. It pulls right back just below $8, making also a higher low here with that candle and that candle, and then explodes back over $8 and runs up to $8.45. Simple stuff like this. You don't have to play the #1 top percentage gainer stock like everybody else. You don't have to play what everybody else is playing. There's something out there for everybody. This to me is the easy money right here. Just waiting and watching and seeing how this is setting up. And I just broke this down to you guys, and it just makes clear sense of what can happen when you plot out and just think about what a stock can do. In reality, this just did a great U-shape, a really good U-shape. And then you could see after it had that pop, it sold back down to VWAP, fell below VWAP, and now it's probably just going to putter off. Because as we go on in the day, we lose volume. But to me, this was a great play here on PDSB. And just to show you guys, right there, I got in at $7.95 with just 400 shares. And then when it had that first pop above $8, I sold it at $8.20, and I got 100 shares at $8.14. Add up 22, 22, 22, and $16.50. I made 84 bucks. So a quick 84 bucks. I'm already green on the week. I'm up over $400 on the week now. So small gains add up, and that's my goal every single week. If you guys want a link to the Discord room, it's absolutely free. All I ask is just, if you enter, go down to the rules here, just go over the rules and have fun with it. I want this Discord and Trading Learning 101 to be a community for dedicated traders that want to grow and share knowledge. But going back to what I was saying, small gains add up. Cut your losses fast. If I get in a trade, I have the discipline to where if I don't feel comfortable with it, or if it falls below where I entered, I cut it. But I'm not under PDT. I can trade as much as I want. So I feel for the guys that are under PDT. I was under PDT for 2 full years. And those 2 full years helped me develop discipline and being very, very picky about what I trade. Because I don't just jump into anything. Also, AWSM, just no follow through on it. Look at that long wick right there. 250s up to 290. You got a U shape right there that failed. Just no volume. And that's what I'm seeing today. No follow through. I also had MBIO on my watch list because it was gapping up and nothing happened with it. GENE was on my watch list. Nothing happened with it. It was setting up nicely though on the daily. We got this big spike right here above $1, ran up to 155. Got a nice pullback all the way back down to this $1 level, and it had a nice bounce all the way back up to 125. You'll see that on a lot of stocks. They'll have a dollar breakout, they'll run up to $1.25, they'll pull right back to the $1 mental area, and they'll get a good bounce up to $1.25. Does it happen all the time? No, but majority of the time it does. And then TIGR was setting up a nice pattern here. Tommy called it out in Discord. I did have Tiger on my watch list, but what was that? PDSB. I was just watching like a hawk because that was the trade I took. But Tiger here had a sell-off from 845 all the way down to 775, and it formed a nice wedge. It's still in its wedge, making higher lows here, getting tighter and tighter up at this 803 level. So if this can get tighter and tighter and break over 803, this could run up to 830. NVAX, just a big sell-off on it. JMIA, always have this bad boy on watch. It looks like it's still in its downtrend. Just going down and down and down and down until it reverses. That's what I'm waiting for. When it gets down, back into this key level right over in here of where it did bounce. That's what I'm waiting for, this $20 area to $18. And then CLRB came out this morning with the $10 million public offering. And this was following in sympathy with PDSB. That one's a tongue twister. But CLRB was following in sympathy with PDSB, was hanging on to its highs pre-market, and then boom, right at 852, they came out with the 10 million financing. And look at that. From 270 drops all the way down to 220, and now it's puttering down at 205. But I looked into the SEC filings. Their offering is at 250 and 240. But alright, I think that's just about it. ARQL will be the last one. Great surge this morning from 6:30 all the way up to 7:05. And look at that. The theme that's been occurring, we've been getting morning rips right out of the gates. I'll go over and show you a few of them. Today we had ARQL, ELTK, look at that surge up. CPRX surges up this morning. PDSB yesterday, right at the market open, surges up. So you'll notice a theme that just continues to happen over and over and over, and that's why it's important to observe what's happening in the markets, what's happening, because it happens over and over and over again. I really hope you guys understand that. Like, we're traders. That's what we look for as traders. We look for patterns that happen over and over and over to capitalize on them. And I just showed you 3 stocks with the same pattern. Right when the market opens, all of them have a big surge up. And then they go sideways, and then they fall off. PDSB from yesterday. ELTK today. ARQL today. CPRX. And there was probably a couple other ones. But nothing really else is going on in the market. Today is more of a slower day. And then we got Friday. And Fridays I don't normally trade because the psychology behind it. We're at the end of the week. Companies don't put really no news out on Fridays. We lose volume every second on Fridays because traders either take their profit and call it a week, or they just don't trade and start their weekend early. So the only time I'll trade on a Friday is if it's something epic, like something just goes supernova, parabolic, and just goes crazy. But I'll still be here. I'm here every single day, guys. So if you're not a subscriber of the channel, please hit that subscribe button and join the Trading Learning 101 community. I put a market recap out every single day at around noon. And then every weekend, I always do a weekly recap, and I always put out a fun video. The last really fun video I did is Who is Dow Jones? Make sure you guys go and check that out. And I hope you guys are having a great week. Hopefully you guys are in the green this week. Just keep studying and studying and studying. You got to stick with it. You got to put that time in and just stick with it, like I said. It just takes time. All good things come with time, as they say. Make sure you guys smash that like button for me. And until next time, guys, have that patience, have that discipline, and study, study, study. All right, later, everyone.